everybody, it's your old friends on Monday Madness, and welcome to the 20th episode of the Jelly Filled Donut podcast.
This is one of those anime series, I'm assuming there's only like 25 episodes?
Yeah, we're a mini arc, we're done at 25,
Yeah.
sorry Rick, I'm sorry you had to hear about it this way. It was going to be a surprise, whatever. Any case, guys, it's a 20th episode. I know it took us 2 years to do it. That's how good we are at podcasts.
Absolutely.
We're not going to let a little thing like a pandemic get in our way.
Who says this thing is off the cuff? It's clearly scripted. It takes 2 months per episode.
That's it. Yeah, it takes me so long.
Constant rewrites.
Yeah, that's it. Rewrites, re-edits, fucking recordings. Recastings. Like James recast it twice because his accent wasn't convincing enough. Like it's been a mess, honestly. But anyway, we've made it to 20 episodes, and we are celebrating the fact with the most filler episode we've had so far.
No, can't be more filler than the last 2 episodes.
Mate, I'm sorry to hear that. I'm sorry to say.
Can't be more filler than the obligatory Let's Go to the Beach episodes.
Oh no, because now we have our mandatory spooky episode. That's about a ghost story. That's as old as the tale of time. So yes, that's exactly what's happening here. We are going to talk about the episode "The Ghost of Maiden's Peak," which is like the most haunted fucking case you'll ever get.
Yeah.
You know, all you're waiting for is like a scouse or a medium to go, "Mary loves Dick," and the whole thing is complete. Like it's ridiculous.
Like it's just waiting for a by Stephen King.
No, it can't be Stephen King episode because this episode is not about a frustrated writer living in mid-America and horrible horrors of his own mind appear. I know it sounds obviously specific, but that's literally like 15 of his books. Anyway.
And the other 50% is the Dark Tower series.
Exactly, yeah. And somehow The Shining. I know, it's mistress as well. Anyway. So we do get the show open. We start off with a shot of waves crashing into rocks. Mm-hmm. And camera pans up to see a rock formation that looks a lot like a girl with hands clasped and has a flower stuck to its head. A real flower, no less. And then we see an apparition of a teen girl with a hairband saying, "I'm waiting for you," or whatever the girls sound like, appearing from the statue and saying, "Come back to me, return to your beloved." Because that is how ghosts talk, by the way, guys. I don't know if you noticed. You might have seen one yourself, but that's how they speak. The girl then transforms into a male voice and then into a laughing Gastly. And title screen.
Well, that just gave the whole ghost away.
It begs the question: who is Gastly performing to?
We just no. It's a bad James. This is why we replaced you twice. Jokes like that. Right, yellow card. Burp, continue.
Who's Gastly performing to?
I don't know. Himself, the cameraman,
the narrator.
Is he practicing? Like, is he
practicing
just
for the big reveal
He's
later?
a thespian, you see, at heart. So he has to get his auditions ready.
He does actually have that voice in the
show.
He
does,
yeah. I didn't realise Gastly was like a fucking like proper like middle class like lives in a chateau. I suppose he's a ghost, so it makes sense. Yeah. Classically trained ghost. So again, we get our title screen and the narrator then talks over what's happening. We see a steamship with the lesser spotted toot because apparently they still have steamships in Kanto. Misty spots something in the distance and they all look at it and Ash says it's Maiden's Peak, which shockingly is not in the game. You'd be shocked. You'd be amazed to hear.
This is filler episode. Yeah, I know.
It is a filler episode.
It's not even based around Lavender Town. Like,
no.
You know, it's a perfect way.
This is like a prelude to the ghost episode.
Yeah.
Like it's like getting you ready for the shocking reveal that ghosts exist in the Pokemon universe.
Yeah.
And it's essentially their next stop apparently. I'm not sure why, because they're on a gym challenge. But Brock's in the mood because for him, he's in a bit of a mood this episode because for him, summer's over.
Yeah.
He's wasted another summer. And in Brock's very, emotionally immature brain, when summer's over, it means he can't get a girlfriend because apparently it's just too cold to get women.
Yeah, you can only get a girlfriend if they're wearing a bikini.
That is true. That is exactly how it works.
Girls only do go outdoors if it's over, let's say, 20 degrees.
Yeah. As we all know, and again, it is a very common truth that a lot of people forget, women do hibernate.
Yes.
So literally, that's why we're getting all these podcasts in now because Burtbot has to go for like 6 months.
Yeah. Like you're blaming the coronavirus, but it was just me.
That is how it starts. Like, because literally, like something got out. basically from the hibernation process. So Burpot's gonna be fine. She's gonna bury herself basically in a hole with like nuts and berries, and she'll be fine until maybe April is normally your one, is that?
Yeah, April. As soon as bikini weather comes back in.
I was gonna say because you're quite an early one. You're not tied to bikini weather though. You're quite an early.
Yeah.
So.
I'm happy in a scuba suit.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair. That's good. Look, I'm not one to judge. It's your house, your rules. So anyway, he tries to understand what he means by that, and for Brock, summer means bathing suits and girls to wear them. Literally, that's it.
Yeah,
that's it. That's summer to people. Brock drops to his knees and cries over bikini season being over and having to wait another year to find the girl. And so we play the smallest fiddle in the world.
Yeah.
Team Rocket, on the other hand, more in dire straits, let's be fair. They're still in the barrel moping about their current situation.
What is this, continuity?
Yes!
Yeah, actually.
For a welcome change, yes.
Continuity between filler arcs.
Now, don't worry, James, they don't make a habit of it, so enjoy while it lasts.
I won't.
Jesse finds a positive by saying that they don't have any money, and it's better than swimming, which is a fair point. They're dry. Can it be any better than that?
Yeah.
So we get Tannoy welcoming the ship to Maiden's Peak, telling to enjoy other things such as the Summer's Festival, which we'll see more of later. Brock goes, I'm going to go on the Ferris wheel alone because I'm so lonely, and that's again
just looking for attention.
Yeah, pretty much.
Speaking of,
I can't. We don't know what that's like. Is that what's happening? Do you need a girlfriend, Guinness? Is that your problem? Here,
are you also upset bikini weather is over?
I can make you a Tinder account if that helps. Is there a dog Tinder? Does anyone know? Google. Is there
Tinder for dogs?
Tinder for dogs. If that's your takeaway from any of this filler episode, there should be a Tinder for dogs. He is completely distracted then immediately because he sees a lilac-haired girl standing by herself on the pier, and conveniently is wearing the same red flower as the statue is. So Brock is immediately enamoured because that's what he is.
Yeah.
Again, we all know the jingle. Brock has a penis. Brock gets run down by a massive crowd that distracts him immediately, and Pikachu looks on as the girl turns, appears momentarily as Gastly, and disappears.
Mm-hmm. But he doesn't see it as Gastly. He still sees it as that girl.
Yes, exactly. It's only Pikachu that sees it as Gastly.
Right.
Yeah. So Brock obviously looks back and sees the girl has gone and gets even more mopey. He's like, well, she's never going to be there again. Hormones are a hell of a thing. But like I've never seen someone get overly dramatic because they're not getting the hole. I mean, maybe it's just me. I'm not
You've been hanging around with nerds too long.
That's what it is. Like
they've resigned themselves.
That's it. Like we're such an asexual group as it is. Like you two being together is actually kind of abnormal.
Yeah.
You're the freaks in our group. Like, oh look at you with your house and settling down. Like you make me sick.
Brock would hate us.
He would, yeah. You're too settled. That's what it is. So yeah, exactly. Ash and Misty pick him up and say they should enjoy themselves and have fun. And Team Rocket also overhear about this festival and say they can make some money out of it because that's worked so far. We get a quip from James and he turns to see the same pier to see the same girl looking out. So two men are being enamoured by the same girl here. Can you tell what the story is for the rest of the episode?
Yeah.
Redhead and the pervert.
Yes. My favourite sitcom.
Oh yeah.
It's my favourite cartoon series. It took over from Tom and Jerry. It's great. So yeah, it's essentially the girl disappears again when James turns his back around essentially, and that's about it. So we get a look at what this summer festival is all about. We see parades, confetti, people in costumes. Ash and Misty having a lovely time buying lollipops while Brock is
moping.
Yeah, he's listening. He has a Walkman listening to Radiohead.
Love Lauren.
As a tradition.
Yeah,
it's like you should get over yourself. And again, just keep talking about this girl that he saw on the pier. So we hear like a gruff voice then calling Brock over, saying he's getting overexcited. He gets overexcited until he sees what's in front of him. And again, the third episode in a row, we see just an ugly old woman.
Yeah.
He's like, well, what is this about? Like, is this literally just like, okay,
it's ageism?
Yes.
It's misogyny?
Yeah.
It's the crone being used as a template character. And I'm getting sick of it at this stage.
Same here. Like it's a case of like you just don't have any other characters you can think of, so you're just using the same one 3 times. Women are either
the Misties, which
Yes.
are just tomboy sister-like characters that aren't in any way their own person. They are only relative to the main characters. You've got the pretty ones and you've got the old crones.
Yes.
But where does Delia fit in all this?
Well,
Which
I think that's for you to decide and for us to find out by just completely assuming whatever kind of like strange thing she does when Nash is away.
Yeah.
And when Professor Oak is in town.
So it's just going back to the old crone and just being like a weird old woman who's intimidating.
Yeah. Pretty much, yeah. So like I said, so Brock immediately hears this girl voice and thinks it's the girl on the pier. It's like, well, yeah, that's clearly not going to work. He turns around and sees this kind of like old woman, like basically already chastising him over something.
I mean, was he wrong?
Yes. Well,
Spoilers.
I see what you did there. No. Literally, we need to keep people listening to this podcast. We keep them on tenterhooks. So yeah, this woman obviously takes offence to it and takes a magnifying glass to look at Brock. I mean, not sure why. He's looking at his fucking pores or something. I don't know. Just looking at his blackheads, going like, "Oh, disgusting."
I want to pop that.
So I think that's what Brock said as well. So the old woman warns of a young beauty that could make you meet a cruel fate. And then Brock immediately goes, "Oh, but it's a cruel fate not seeing her again." It's like, oh God, please stop. And obviously then Brock immediately thinks about the girl on the pier. Misty, misunderstood, thinks about her. Even though she would never hurt Brock. That is not true. You punch him in the face a few times. The old woman then corrects her by saying, "No, it's not a scrawny blabbermouth like you." At which point the air horns play.
Yeah.
Ash agrees and gets smacked to the head for his
Smart man, Ash.
Yeah, exactly. I love as well, like Ash got hit there, but the old woman didn't. She was the one that made the insult. But
Do you want to take a swing at a crone?
probably missed, to be honest. She's so small.
Yeah.
So
Also, she's see-through.
Careful. Keep it spoiler free. So Missy grabs both Ash and Brock and leaves. Brock is still mesmerised, interpreting that the cruel fate will be to never see her again, as we mentioned already. So again, magnifying glass being the connective tissue of this episode, as Jesse is crawling on the ground looking for change. Spare change, anybody? Change? I need about 350. There's a histrionics from both her and James, and they absolutely find nothing. It's almost as if people don't want to leave spare change lying around. It's a mystery how that works. James does find a penny though, and the same old woman spots James taking it, who claims it's his. Of course, this woman is obviously not buying it, saying there's no good in your future, like real crystal ball shit going on here. Again, James is wondering what he means by this. The old woman brings up the beauty on the pier again to James. So again, she has picked out like the two people that's been enamoured by the woman on the pier.
Yeah.
It's a real mystery. It's trying to
How
get
does
you.
she know?
How does she know?
How does she know?
It's a mystery to us all. And again, we keep looking at it. Jesse's about to question this, and then by a saluting Officer Jenny. Team Rocket react in fear because the popo. And Jenny says she knows exactly what they're doing.
Dun dun dun! They're finally getting nicked.
They're being upstanding citizens and returning that penny they found.
Oh no, she's a
For a
terrible.
reward, of course.
Yes.
If the big Team Rocket outfits on them doesn't alert her to the fact that maybe they're not up to good.
Well, as we established, excuse me, she doesn't actually have the. They don't have the traditional Team Rocket uniforms.
Yeah, it's
they
like
have they have the offset fucking little
trainee.
brand.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've got the little brand rocket. They are the Rickets. They're Team Rickets. So obviously they're no harm. So obviously she says, "Oh well, we'll hand in that penny. You have to file a report. No, we're not doing that." And they leave. They run away. So moving on, then we see a shrine as we see this kind of old kind of sage of sorts explaining about the summer festival, and one of the traditions they do is display the Maiden's greatest treasure to celebrate the end of summer. It's a painting that is brought out from the shrine to the public once a year as part of the festival. So we see the painting, shockingly, and it's as it's happening, as it's being unveiled, we see shots of a stormy night, thunder and lightning, crashing waves, and the rock formation of the girl. So we can tell it's all chimed into this. The painting itself is a rather fetching. I feel like Antiques Roadshow now at this stage.
Yeah.
So this is, as you can see, this is a charcoal-like drawing. It's one of Monet's works, as you can see. It's in his style, and it's a girl on the pier basically. It's a portrait of her. And
It'd be more Dega.
do you think
No, Dega was more charcoal and female figures.
you really expose yourself now as an art twat. You do realise that?
Well,
That's your secret out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cancel this woman.
Recast her for the next episode.
Yeah, we need to get someone more common in. So anyway, so obviously it's a girl they've seen on the pier. Both in disbelief at this, both of them are adoring her, and they start mindlessly walking up to the shrine like zombies. And the old man pushes them back by saying that the woman died 2,000 years ago.
So ridiculous.
2,000 years ago. So literally, she was there since the start of Christ, if we're going by our own even terminology.
Yeah.
Sure, mate. The story is, though, she was in love with a brave soldier who sailed away to fight in a war. She said she'll wait forever for his return, and you can hear the dog sighing in the background because that's how fucking boring this ghost story is.
Yep.
It's literally told time and time again by every old town that needs a magic stone or something. And yeah, that's basically it is. It's just like she never moved from the spot, and she basically calcified into stone.
Do you know that like old story that if you do something, the wind changes, your face is stuck like that? That's basically what happened. She stood on that pier or that rock formation, and the wind changed, and she just got stuck like it. So like it's just proof.
In fairness, like it would have to be really fast acting stone to like change you like into that straight away.
Yeah.
Or like a really cutting wind that makes you freeze, properly freeze. You know, it's entirely possible, I guess. But
and of course, Brock is interested because not only is it a pretty girl, but it's also made out of rock, and he loves that.
He does love rocks. That is why he's so intrigued, because it's his two sexual fetishes put together. Young women with flowers and rocks. Yes. But yeah,
you can get his rocks off.
Yeah.
That's
Yes. Well, you are definitely getting recast now. And yeah, precisely, it's exactly what's happening. He asks where the rock is, and basically it's behind the shrine. It's like it's not too far away from here, and the shrine's
around the back of the building.
Right at the back of the building. It's just like, oh, it's not too far away from here. The next shot is behind the fucking building.
Yeah.
It's like, dudes. So they both arrive at the cliff. So you have like the heroes on one side and Team Rocket on the other side, and both Rocket teams are kind of making their own way up to it. So Brock says if it was his girlfriend, he'd make sure he was never out of his sight. Not possessive, not controlling at all.
No.
Perfectly healthy behaviour.
Red flags.
The red flag is that he's a rock type trainer. It's just like, oh, dude, come on, pick a better type. And James says no one would steal her away from him, not even Team Rocket. Which I guess is that more? That's probably worse. It's even just as controlling.
Yeah.
In a different way. So Jesse holds James back as he's trying to squat at the cliff, like at the rock face, because there's like a guardrail there straight down the cliff. So he's literally like hanging off it to try and grab to the fucking statue, and Jesse's grabbing onto him. And Meowth makes the point that they should steal the painting as it's a priceless work of art. Because shockingly, Meowth is going, you do realize we're criminals.
Yeah.
We can steal shit while we're here. And everyone goes, this is why we keep you around.
The cat speaks the truth.
Cat speaks the truth, man. So yeah, Jesse gets excited, but doesn't realise James has toppled over the side and pulls himself and Jesse over the cliff into the sea, because it wouldn't be a Pokemon episode if someone doesn't fall into water.
Yep.
So night falls and Brock is still sitting by the rock, transfixed as ever, as both Ash and Misty are saying they're getting bored.
I like how it's taken hours and nightfall for them to be like, is he finished staring at that rock?
They were trying to be really, really nice about it, and then they just went.
I mean, I think they were just happy that he wasn't crying about being lonely.
Same here. I think that could be a part of it too. It's a case of like, well, at least he's not like, singing fucking Radiohead again. That's a start. Like, it's something, isn't it? So Brock wants to stay longer, naturally. Ash reminds him that where they're staying, which is the Pokemon Center, and he'll be back before curfew. Or at least Brock says so.
Yeah.
He's kind of somewhat in the trance when he's all saying this, but I'll be okay, I'm fine, I'll just want to stay here by the rock.
Once he's left on his own, he will make a hole in the rock.
Oh.
Cut that out.
Maybe. Yeah. Let's just say the word erosion and leave it there. So obviously we see clouds moving in and the clock strikes 11. Which is curfew time. I find it interesting
the witching hour.
I was about to say, if it's interesting that this town has a curfew. It's almost as if this is a common occurrence. Yeah. I mean, and 11 is a bit of a harsh curfew as well. I mean, when there's people still having pints at this hour, just not considering it. So Brock naturally isn't back yet, and the shutters are getting closed. Ash is about to go look for him and gets pulled back by Nurse Joy, saying that it's bedtime. Now, guys, I know we all probably don't have the best sleeping patterns in the world, right? But what are the 3 things you know about staying up late?
It's great fun.
That's the wrong answer.
Makes you sleepy.
Does make you sleepy. But as we know from Nurse Joy, who is, as we know,
You get bad skin.
Yes, you do get bad skin. Absolutely, that is a proven fact. You get bad skin.
Makes you irritable or cranky.
Well, that is also correct, yes.
Waste of electricity, staying up half the night and keeping the lights on.
Well, you can stay in the dark, James, in fairness. This is you just wants to be like, you light a candle next time or something. Like, Jesus. There's means and ways, like,
The cost of the candle?
Yeah. Well, buy a different candle then. Holy shit, you fucking cheap bastards, like. Oh yeah, we'll just we'll just add the ESB bill, but we won't buy a fucking candle. You're mad, man. Come on, I've got standards. No, you got 2 of the 3. We have Nurse Joy, according to Nurse Joy, who we all know is a science. Staying up late is bad for your skin. Mm-hmm. It makes you irritable, and you lose your appetite. Those 3 things, not the fact that it is other issues, but those are the 3 main ones.
Yeah, not that there's a violent ghost after you or anything like that, but
You're just shooting blanks here now, Burke. To be honest, like there's nothing to say here. But yeah, the shutters then close shut, and we go back to the shrine, where we see Team Rocket hanging from a tree in sleeping bags, very reminiscent of the Beedrill. Yeah, you can see where they nicked that animation. Mm-hmm. And basically Meowth has an alarm clock that goes off, and he gets him to wake up, but again not quite working there. Like, come on, we had a plan, wake up. But a strong gust of wind blows in and blows the shrine doors open as the 2 of them are stirring. A ghost starts moving from a mirror inside the shrine to the outside. Meowth watches on. Meowth shrieks, and the ghost obviously alerts to this and puts him back to sleep with some sort of hypnosis, which is unusual. And the ghost then speaks to James that he's been waiting for him, and that obviously wakes him up. But curiously, at the same time, Brock is talking to himself at the rock and turns around to see the ghost again saying the same thing to him. The waves crash and the sun rise. Both Ash and Misty and Jessie and Meowth are at the shrine calling for their missing partners, and they both bump into each other.
Bum bum bum.
And they cut to an outbreak on that.
That was such a weird cliffhanger.
Tension.
Literally on a cliff.
That's why they did it. It's like, well, we have to do it on the cliff. I think it's more of a case of like, well, we have to have the outbreak somewhere. This will do. It is a case of like, oh, we didn't add a natural break into the script.
Yeah.
Shit. Okay, just like cut it there. Just cut it there.
Yeah. On the cliff.
Cut it a few minutes early.
It's like it was like the halfway point of the episode.
Just end the episode.
It just cuts out there. And so James and Brock were never seen again because they couldn't keep their dicks in their pants. Good night, everybody.
Anyway. Who's that Pokemon?
There we go.
Here we go.
So again, as for our outbreaks, we don't need ads on this show, but we do need to know who's that Pokemon.
Absolutely.
And as we know from the last few rounds, it is quite close between myself and James. Burkbot, you did manage to get some points last week.
Yep.
Only 2. So you have some ground to catch up, but you can make it up, hopefully, if you do get full marks here. And this time around, it's James's twist.
Okay.
So fire away with your mystery Pokemon.
Okay, I'm going to go with the entry from Fire Red for this.
Alright.
It is usually undetectable because it blends in with the ground. Its footprints contain poison. Starting with Burkbot.
I think if I give one, Jonathan will get the other.
Right.
Okay.
If we give him options, so I have to pick. I'm gonna. Paris.
Okay.
That's a good answer. It's a very good answer, but I was going to go with Oddish.
Okay, you're both wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Its hidden ability is Poison Touch.
Alright. Okay, I'm gonna go.
No, Burkbot first.
Burkbot first, sorry, yeah.
Tangela.
Okay.
the blends in the ground stuff is throwing me off a little bit, but I am going to say bell sprouts.
You're both wrong.
Okay.
Let's see what else. What else can I go off of? Not going to go off colour yet.
Okay, yeah, no, that would give away.
Let's see. I'll give its height and weight. 1.2 meters tall and 30 kg in weight.
Parsect.
Good parsect, in fairness. I will probably, again, it's kind of the same ballpark, just figure out which one it is. I'm going to go with gloom.
Both wrong.
Say.
Okay, alright.
Okay, I'll give where it can be caught next.
Right.
Dun, dun, dun.
This is for 2 points then, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it's just for two,
2
yeah.
points now at this stage. I have to say I'm glad I got.
Yeah,
This is-
quite elusive.
Yeah. And I can tell what it is that has tripped you both up.
Oh, actually, yeah. Fuck, I think I might know.
Oh, do you?
Maybe, I'm not too sure. I have a thought.
Okay. In yellow, it can be got by trading Kangaskhan on Cinnabar Island.
That's the only way to be caught.
No. Okay, since we're this far on, I'll give the locations for it are the power plant.
No, I'm gonna say. Grimer.
Okay.
Beedrill.
Both missed it. Okay, at this stage I'll give probably the biggest one. It has an alternate form in later generations.
Oh, Sandshrew.
It's muck.
It's muck. Ah!
Footprints tripped these up.
It was, yeah.
Yeah.
It's the footprints, yeah.
Yep.
Of course it would be, because it's like it's the trail it leaves.
Yeah.
It's deadly the footprints.
Yep.
Blends into the ground because it has, it's acid armor. And minimise, yeah. Okay, that makes sense. But something I see, I was associating more
The
just being like,
footprints just like.
that footprints did throw me off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw that and I was like, that will get them.
Yeah. So
1 point for Buckbot.
Yeah.
1 point, yeah.
I'm slowly coming back.
You're playing the long game is the thing. So you're on. You made 20 points. You're
20
1
episodes.
point per episode. That's what
Yeah,
you're averaging.
yeah.
That's good. It's good. It's healthy.
Well done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In fairness, we've closed up the battle a bit here now, and you'll have to wait until 2 weeks for the.
Yeah.
It's fine now. It's fine.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
fine. You just have to be elusive. It's fine. Just like be a shithouse and
Just look at how much of a
Go-
shit house I was.
You know,
Yeah.
pick Pokemon that have footprints but no feet.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's get back to this ghost.
Before there's a fucking domestic. At least wait until I leave before you start fighting. Yeah. Or you'll be introducing him to several fucking footprints, I think would be fair to say. So, yes, we return to the app break when we see Ash and Jessie continuing their standoff, both realising that they are looking for someone.
Yeah.
Jessie tries to do the model by herself, and it's kind of funny because, like, she does the voice.
Yeah.
It was like...
At this stage, 20 episodes in, they're already trying to vamp it up and they're trying to...
jazz it up a little
Yeah.
bit,
Yeah.
yeah. It's a case
Like,
that's
this is
like...
getting boring, is it?
Yeah. Bit boring, never. What the
Like, this goes on for another 60 episodes
I know.
for this season.
And this season, and also go for like another 600 episodes after that. So yeah, they do try and jazz it up a little bit, to be fair. But yeah, I do find it funny that he tries to do the voice, and it's just the voice actor taking it because they're like,
Yeah.
they're sounding Asian, but they're not Asian. And then halfway through, then you can hear James cutting in himself
Yeah.
to finish it off, because like even in the trance, he's going, "That's a terrible impression of me. I can't let this stand." And he does. Obviously, he's coming from somewhere. So she keeps saying the rest of the motto to try and locate where he is. So they reach the ending and they realise he's coming from the shrine. And James hurls out of the door, followed after by Brock. Everyone then remarks that they look awful. but they both have grinning faces with hands up. Now, guys, I'm not saying what could have happened, but is there a reason why they look both awful, but also have grinning faces with hands up?
Don't want to put forward an answer.
No.
Uh,
I don't understand the question and I refuse to respond.
Oh, I can leave it there. Both Ash and James try to snap their partners out of it, with out of the trance, no success. They're just stuck in there. So then we see the old woman cutting in then to say that she predicted all of this and saying that they've both seen the ghost of the Maiden. Everyone repeats it until Brock and James mumble the same and then hug each other in their trance. They're literally face to face as well. So it's like, as bait as it possibly can be, like, you know. There's like one person out there who's been shipping these two since the start, and like this is where it begins for that episode.
Yeah.
Look, there's going to be a lot of episodes that have to go through every permutation.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's literally like a dartboard. It's like, well, we need a B story for something. So Brock, James, done, cut and print, send it to DeviantArt. They'll handle the rest. And yeah, Ash obviously thinks that they're possessed. Pikachu shocks them, and that does actually snap them out of it temporarily. So then we see Aurora on fire. The old woman is explaining that all men are bastards. No, sorry. All men that pass through here fall under their spell. It's the same story over and over again. Just, there's so much like hormones going on in this area, like, you know.
Now, whenever they unveiled the painting earlier, why was it only the two of them that tried to go up and hump the painting?
Because everyone's probably gone through it already. It's I'm not saying there's a direct comparison, but say if you got something, let's just say it's an illness of some kind. You get it once, you normally get the immunity from it since. It's kind of the same thing with ghosts. If you see one ghost, you're scared of it, you're immune to ghosts after that.
Yeah, you're like, I've been there, done this.
Exactly, that's what normal types are. Normal types have seen a ghost, then they're immune to it, and then it's done. You know, that kind of way. And yeah, it's exactly that then. So we see she keeps kind of like mentioning about like the spell that this ghost seems to have. The same story over and over again, that they appear like zombies with the life sucked out of them. And it's been the same ever since that rock has looked out over the cliff from 2,000 years ago.
Yeah.
So she seems to know that it was always like this for 2,000 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, since I've been here, 2000, I mean, what?
Yeah. So Brock and James are still somewhat entranced, and the old woman says the only way to solve this is stickers. Now these are obviously like they're spell tags. That's what that's a very kind of Japanese thing.
Yeah.
To, like,
no. For a Christian audience, they're stickers.
Oh, they're stickers, are they? I thought they were like communion wafers or something. But yeah, she sticks a piece of paper onto both James and Brock's faces, saying they're anti-ghost stickers, which is pretty much what a spell tag is for all intents and purposes.
Yeah.
It's just saying it in such a weird way just makes it feel worse.
Yeah.
You know, as if to say like
give it a fancier name and it sounds better.
It's like a brand name. It's just like, well, we can't call it spell tags. That's already taken by fucking like Pfizer of all people. So we're just gonna have to call it anti-ghost stickers.
It's the little version of it.
It's after the patent's over.
Yeah.
When the patent's expired, we can now make spell tags ourselves.
Yeah.
You know, we can't call them it. So Ash then obviously asks, what's the catch? Like, you can't surely be like you're expecting to just ward off ghosts for free. And indeed, that is the case. Because she has a cash register, so you have to buy them off her.
Yeah.
Which is, you know, I guess you can respect the hustle there, in fairness. Yeah. You know. So anyway, Ash and Missy agree to stick them all over the place, as they do, over the walls of the shrine, and then several of them are around Brock and James's face. And James keeps like, you know, doing the whole like, oh, I fancy this woman, and Jesse just puts him over and over his mouth and just shut up, this will do you, this will fix you. And again, night falls upon the land. Everyone's hiding in the shrine. Brock and James with the old woman, and the others are hiding nearby. The wind whips up again, and it starts peeling the stickers off the outside. The old woman says, "She's here," as the doors fly open. The wind stops the fire and peels off the rest of the stickers. Now at this point, the old woman disappears from the shot. And no, it is almost certainly not a case that she didn't download it in. They meant it this time. As we'll find out. Brock says, "It's you," to the ghost, and the ghost talks back as, "Yes, it's me." It's a really romantic story, lads. You had to be there.
Oh yeah.
Girl with no name.
And the man with no libido. So James still has two stickers on him, so he's not quite as enamoured. He's now scared at this point, as you would be with two stickers on your face. So the ghost floats away, takes both Brock and James with her as they float out of the shrine. And it's kind of the way again, you can kind of tell from the animation, they just like have moved. They have just like this the outline of the person and just like rotate.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's really kind of funny the way they do it. So James at this point is clinging onto a rail as he tries to figure out why the stickers aren't working, and Jesse admits, we got them for free because the other group bought them and it was a buy one get one free deal essentially, which like kind of makes a mockery of the stickers.
Oh yeah.
Because like they should be just able to work on Ghost full stop.
Not depending on the power of capitalism.
If you buy it, yeah, exactly. if you were able to return it for goods and services, you just don't get the service apparently. So he flies off basically as he's afraid the Ghost might get him because Jesse was too cheap. Yeah, you better get used to that, James. He doesn't want to go, but he floats away in the end. And Ash and Misty grab Brock as James floats closer, but Jesse stops it by firing a rocket launcher at the Ghost.
As you do.
Rocket launchers, they work.
They do. They actually do, and you can prove it now. And exactly. Jesse just taunts the Ghost, and James scrambles up from the sea, saying she really doesn't care. She really does care. I was like, you've exposed yourself now, Jesse. I thought you were a heartless bitch, but no. Jesse says because she hates girls like him who wait for their man to arrive.
Oh yeah.
Some cutting social commentary there from the strong-willed
Go
Jesse.
get him, girl.
Exactly. The Ghost says that they should not interfere as she makes a set of skulls appearing, laughing at everyone. And they're just like the drawings of skulls going like real fucking like spooky skeleton shit here. Like, so Jesse bolts as Missy obviously doesn't think it's a Pokemon, and actually going, it doesn't look like a Pokemon. The Pokédex goes, dude, it's a fucking ghost.
Yeah.
Obviously a Pokemon. So the skulls start floating around and they start like kind of laughing around. So they keep swirling around like Ash and Misty, and he's kind of like waving the Pokédex at the ghosts, and the Pokédex goes ding 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 ding.
Keep looking.
Yes.
Searching.
Yeah, and then, we found something, and it was the ghost of the girl.
Yeah.
Turns out it was Gastly all along. Who fucking knew? And exactly. The deck says it's known for its invisibility and its powers of hypnosis. So Ash obviously calls it a Gastly, and the girl says they finally figured it out, because this Gastly can talk apparently.
Yeah.
Again, one of the few like talking Pokemon we've that's been forgotten because this is such a filler episode.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sometimes it's a ghostly girl. Sometimes it's the old woman.
What?
We didn't see this coming.
What?
Holy shit! But it's always been Gastly. I like to think like the Gastly is actually just his name, as if like that was the name of the actor.
Oh yeah.
It's like, I've always been Gaston Gastly of the Royal Shakespearean Theatre. Died far too young for this shit. Ash says...
I'd say he just enjoys a good pun. I've been acting quite ghastly recently.
I'd say, you should have seen, I was like a ghost out there, the makeup I had on, it was terrible.
Hunter, I hardly know her.
He did vaudeville, did he? It's just like, stop looking at me! Stop looking at me! You should be really proud of that one. So Ash says it's time for a battle, but Gastly says its powers can also work on Pokemon, including little rodents.
Yeah.
So Gastly then turns into a giant mousetrap and starts chasing
remember
Pikachu.
that move.
What, transforming into a giant mousetrap? No, I don't actually know. Meowth then tries to get his claws out, and Gastly makes a cat toy appear to stop him in his tracks. Now that is a thing. Poke toys are a thing. You can distract them. Jesse brings out Ekans, but Gastly makes a mongoose appear and spooks Ekans. Now, unfortunately, guys, we're going to have to wait a couple of generations for a mongoose to appear.
Before Zangoose shows up.
Indeed, yeah. And he has like this weird David Bowie look to him, which is probably accidental. Jesse then tags in James, quite literally tags him in, and coughing uses poison gas, but gets stomped out by the same mongoose, this time wearing a gas mask. And he says, smoking is prohibited. Pop, 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 and everyone clicks in the background because we're all like hipsters. I do like we've just established Gastly as an old actor, not even a Pokemon at this stage. He's literally acting as one. So then, again, we're just throwing Pokemon at fucking at this guy at this stage. So Ash brings out Charmander, Gastly responds with a fire extinguisher. Ash brings out Squirtle and Bulbasaur, and Gastly replies with a Venusaur and a Blastoise. Definitely that we used from a few episodes before. And then just for fun, Gastly combines them, and it's actual like fusion from Dragon Ball Z. They actually do the fusion pose into Venusaur, which I'm not saying is a cheap knockoff, but it's literally Blastoise wearing a hat that looks like Venusaur.
Yeah.
Like it's just like hello.
That's all you need.
It's just like a little pedal on his head. It's like, yep, I'm a Venusaur.
I'd say it was that then trying to feel the water for like, okay, could this be somewhere the series goes in the future?
To be fair, yeah.
Using
But in the
Pokemon.
middle of a shit episode, really bad target
Didn't they?
audience.
They did combine the three of them in one episode, or am I mistaken that for
I
something
think you're
else?
mistaken in the
No,
manga.
it was the
they
manga.
They
Yes,
combined the three legendary
They
birds.
did. They combined the three birds in the manga, and that was pretty fucking sick, to be honest.
I
what they
can't
did.
remember. I just know that was a plot point.
It was one of Giovanni's like special plans to take over the world. Then it was
Sounds
the
like-
So what he was doing on Porta Vista.
pretty much, yeah.
Oh, that's
Oh.
where Articuno was.
He was getting built.
Yeah.
So, yeah, essentially they all get spooked. Ash seems defeated, and then Missy brings out a cross, an actual proper Christian cross.
Yeah.
And then Gastly goes, well, "What are you doing?" It's like,
I'm not a vampire. But I think this was actually a ploy. Because as we see, this tactic of delaying
yes,
worked. So she brings out the cross, she brings out garlic and a steak, and
Yeah.
he's like, "What, you idiot?
That
I'm not a
doesn't-
vampire." And then he's like, "Oh shit, sunlight. Damn, you got me."
he's such a character actor. He's always been a vampire. He's like fucking Vincent Price, who's always been something kind of creepy. So even when in public, he still has to act like he is. So yeah, that could be it. Brings it across. Missy then adds he's got garlic, stick and a hammer, and then, dude, I'm a ghost.
Yeah.
I'm not a vampire. And then the bell rings and suddenly goes, oh, sunlight. Oh no, I better go. Definitely not a vampire.
Like, that really just says they didn't know how to end this episode.
Yeah.
Yes, very
That
much so.
Gastly had them dead to rights.
Yeah. Like, we couldn't even do a battle mode for it. Like, we've
Yeah.
had no battles in the last 4 episodes because
Yeah.
they keep doing shitty stuff like this. So he wanted the ghost and the old lady will return next year when I'm back in Panto. And yeah, our next shot basically is like these little kind of like paper lantern boats, which again is a thing with Pokemon, other drawings floating on a river.
Yeah.
Kind of Jenny giving us the lowdown of like at the end of every summer, it's a tradition that's done to help any spirits wandering to find their way home. One boat has the ghost of the girl and the old woman talking to the rock statue, which is, you know,
Yeah.
this is a nice sign off of the episode, but it's totally irrelevant.
Yeah.
It means
Yeah,
fucking
absolutely.
nothing. Like a ghost of the girl appears from the statue, so the ghost has always been in the statue.
So
Let's
there
just
was
establish.
actually a ghost of the girl.
There is a ghost there, yes. Right? It's not just Gastly acting the bollocks. Gastly is literally an actor playing the girl ghost and
Just
the old
that
woman.
he's been paid by the town for this festival to get the tourists in.
He's literally shadowing the ghost of the
Yeah.
rock. I was like, oh yes, no, I have all your mannerisms now. Yes, it's mostly being
I'm
lonely.
waiting for you. No, it's more like if you're
It's more, get the fuck home now!
Pretty much, it's like, I was like, no, I think I
You
can do-
said Friday at the latest. Here we are, 2,000 years later.
Pack of smokes my arse.
You see, that's why we don't get ghost stories like that in Ireland, because the dedication would last 2 minutes. It's like, I knew that fucking cunt's never going to come back. I fucking knew it. I knew he wasn't coming back. But I bet you that fucking Deirdre who's going out as well. Fucking bat. I never fucking liked her to begin with. So yes, they start having a back and forth, and Gastly going, oh yes, no, I'll be back next year. I love all the old legends. Again, he's an actor. Adds that he can make a few bucks out of it as well. Yeah, definitely an actor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the better as he dings his cash register. The girl says she'll see the next festival where she'll still wait for her love's return. And Gastly goes, keep going, I'll make fucking money out of it.
Yeah.
Living the gimmick. He is though, because he says, I'm a ghost Pokemon, and he might see him someday and remind him that the girl still waits for him. So it's like all ghosts are in this own kind of like little inner circle.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, well, let's spook the normies,
Yeah.
and then we'll have our own fun.
Yeah.
It's like Casper, basically. She says thanks and goodbyes and disappears back into the rock. And Brock looks on at the cliff and says, if only you were 2,000 years younger. Which is a line that many people never say.
Yeah.
And then we see a wooden tower with a drum set on top. People dressed in kimonos and traditional wear. So again, it's a very, very Japanese-centric episode. Funny enough. They couldn't really... There's not much you can do to localize this one, to be fair.
Yeah.
How can you Americanize like a traditional Japanese ghost story with spell tags? Oh yeah, anti-ghost stickers. Apologies.
Yeah.
Oh wait, they're not kimonos. They're bathing robes. They all went for a swim to celebrate the end of summer. And they're all made of silk for some reason. Yeah, that's it. So at the top of the structure, we see Jesse, James, and they're all beating on drums. Meowth is playing the flute, as you do. Well, he's actually not playing the flute. He's actually pretending to play the flute.
Yeah.
There's no sound to it, like.
Everyone will go sleep otherwise.
Yeah, that's true. Well, no, that's what wakes people up after all.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
You don't want to wake him.
You don't want to wake him.
No. So Ash is also in the kimono reading about Gastly on the Pokedex, and Missy arrives in hers, and we get this whole like, oh, she's dressed as a girl. Holy shit! Look at her hair down.
Once again.
Well, it was like 2 episodes ago.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, it's okay. You're at the point now in the show where you're doing like pin up Misty. It's like that's a good shot. That's a good sign. What's the next one? Fucking nurse.
No, that's a handful of episodes away.
The fact that I was joking and you knew the answer to that says more about you.
No, it doesn't. It's how disgusting the show is at times.
Yeah, I know. And yeah, so the episode basically ends with Misty offering Ash a dance because again, that's what you do to celebrate summer. We don't see what Brock is, by the way. Brock is just gone.
Yeah.
I like to think he's just like still I like to think he's just on like a hill, just going oh.
I'd say he's still looking at that rock.
He probably is going like
Looking at that rock.
yes, definitely trying to catch it.
Oh no.
Yeah. Maybe we can put this in my gym. Would my brothers and sisters care if I put
Onyx,
this in
can I chisel her into you?
Just hold still. Dude, that's my spine. Shut up.
Why are you tattooing me?
I already have a tramp stamp. Anyway, so the narrator says the summer festival is over and cheers Brock up by saying, who knows what romances lie over the horizon.
Hopefully none.
Never. It's never happening. He'll die alone. But yes, shockingly enough, guys, we do actually see a new Pokemon in this to check on our Pokedex.
Gastly!
It's Venustoise.
It's I'm afraid to say, James, it's never going to happen. I'm afraid to say. So yes, Gastly, would you believe, guys, is a ghost.
A ghost type Pokemon.
Yes, the only one for a long time until Generation 2. It was a class of 1 along with dragons.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
And even at that, in Gen 2, it was so far into the game that it might as well have not counted.
Yeah, exactly. There was the other ghost type was Mischievous.
Yeah.
And like nobody gave a shit about it.
Yeah, you could only catch it in the last cave.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
And it was crap.
It was
so
terrible.
It wasn't worth getting.
Yeah. Especially when you were able to get a Gastly at like level 4 and everyone's going like, oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that level. Now take that then, yeah. So it was the same thing. And obviously like ghost type is one of those ones where like it started off really slow. It's a very small pool, but over each kind of generation they've made more ghosts and like of all different shapes and sizes, let's say.
Yeah.
So like typically for like Gastly, for example, it has like it has really bad stats in certain areas. Like its health is very bad.
Yeah.
Its defense is very bad. But then something like in Generation 3 you get like big tanky ghosts.
Yep.
Like
Dusknoir,
Dusclops and all them.
Yeah.
And you get other weird ones that are like actually very offensive ghosts.
You have Creepy now.
You do, yeah, exactly, yeah.
I'd say it's one of the better ones.
I would say Chandelure as well, the ghost chandelier, which is very nice. But yeah, there's not much to say about Gastly. In fairness, obviously the name
absolutely
is a fun.
pulled all those abilities out their arse for the sake of the episode.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's like again, it's meant to be like in terms of what like type of ghost is based on. It's kind of like a Will-o'-the-Wisp, I suppose, for like a Western kind of aspect of it. Just like that's hence why it's kind of gassy as well, because like it's meant to be like a gas cloud in of itself. But I suppose like from a Japanese point of view, you could kind of say it's based off the Sogen Bai, which is a type of like basic ghost light. It's the same idea. It's like a jack-o'-lantern or a will-o'-wisp. Yeah. It's the same idea. So it's very, hence why that's the reason why it's a gas basically, because it's supposed to be like a ghost flame.
Right. Okay.
Of sorts, but they just didn't go for the flame part, obviously. Yeah, essentially the whole actually yokai is it's the decapitated head of a monk whose head is doomed to wander the earth. Hence why now it's a ball. Okay. So now you can see where the design is coming from. And the poison type is essentially because it's a gas. Because most gas types are poison.
Poison. Yeah. Okay.
And that's essentially it. Like there's very little to say about Gastly overall. And obviously in a couple of episodes time we'll be talking more about the rest of the chain. So we won't delve too much into the ghost just yet. There will be time for that. But for now we'll leave it there on that. Our Pokédex is standing at 44 seen and 10 caught. So happy days. It's nice to see that we actually have now seeing some form of Pokemon now.
Yeah, we're going to get a bit more variety as well. We're not just seeing a load of bugs. We're not just seeing a load of stuff. Yeah, you know, they're not we're getting to see the other types.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. As I say, variety is a spice of life in the Pokemon world.
And cumin is poison, is a paralysis spider.
Yes, we've locked that in. We established that last week, so yeah, that's good. But nevertheless, that's the episode done, lads. Filler.
One of the worst episodes.
I think it's one of the worst ones we've done so far.
Yeah.
It's one of the worst ones, but I do think the beach ones.
The beach one is the
awful.
worst, like overall. But in terms of like being completely irrelevant, I think that one is.
Oh,
pretty hard.
there's a lot more of those still to come.
Yeah.
Like there's going to be a massive pit of
filler, yeah.
filler.
And we all just have to kind of just brace ourselves for it in a sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's in our future. But until then, guys, hopefully you've enjoyed this episode more than we enjoyed the filler episode. Hopefully we made some fun out of it either way.
Yeah.
Nevertheless, hopefully you've enjoyed the show as well. So by all means, please keep track of us on the Low Blows Network. Obviously they do rate loads of shows, including their wrestling rundown that they do every week, and they're asking basically when I give them a stupid question, they'll give you a stupid answer on Ask Low Blows, and of course all the other shows that they've done back in the day. If they're that way inclined. Perhaps you're watching this on the Nerds of Us channel, but by all means give them a subscription as well. They do rate loads of stuff as well that you might enjoy. And if you want to keep track of what we're doing, you can follow us at Monday Madness LP and subscribe to us on YouTube on the same tag essentially.
Yeah.
Please do, because we are currently swarmed by Indian sex pests, and we could really do with some real people subscribing to the channel, so that would be great. So until then, guys.
Cheerio.
Yeah, we'll see you next time.
See yous.
Fucking Haunter. You think you're brilliant with that line now?
Yeah,
don't you?
that has to be the title.